Having said that, though, and I was hoping we would get time tonight to say something about David Flynn. Flynn was a very dear friend to me. He was a very dear friend to you. David Flynn is probably one of the most plagiarized guys in history.
Absolutely.
His website was ahead of everybody. The Watcher's website, the stuff he was writing out there, there's got to be several dozen books by even best-selling authors out there right now who ripped off his material and never gave him credit.
It sounds like the world of Christian expression through written literature to me, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, it always happens, and so we're setting the record straight, so continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just feel strong about
And by the
that.
way, you mentioned the book that I published, Temple at the Center of Time. And that book, David was not able to do media. When it first came out, I got him on Coast to Coast, and immediately afterward he went off-grid, as you know, for reasons we won't explain. But for his own personal reasons, he wasn't available to do media. But that book still, that first year, became a best-selling book. And David had come to me several years ago talking about how he thought he found something, and he did. And if anybody reads Temple at the Center of Time, they'll get it. It was unprecedented. As always, it was groundbreaking. It was brand new. It was David Flynn, right? He was going to be speaking at a conference, and he was worried. I won't mention who he was speaking at a conference with, but he was worried because they wanted the information, and he was afraid that once again they were going to steal it and put it in their book and not give him credit. And I said, well, David, then why don't you just let me publish it? I'll put your name on it. You get credit for it. You get paid royalties, and so we did. You did the same thing with his groundbreaking book on Cydonia, the monuments of Mars. Now, what we want people to know is that if they don't know it already, David Flynn passed away a few months ago. He had a brain tumor. He did the whole surgery and radiation and whatever therapies they recommended for it, but it got the best of him, and God is always in control, and David Flynn tonight is in a better place visiting with,
probably with Daniel. You're saying, Daniel, here it is, my brother.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, by the way. I really
right.
believe that.
Yeah. He's probably explaining some things to Daniel, sure. But what we want people to know is you published his book, Cydonia. I published his book, Temple at the Center of Time. He also wrote some articles. He did all these amazing video presentations where he was ahead of the curve. And we decided, ladies and gentlemen, that myself and Steve Quayle, we're going to publish a new book called, and this is just a working title. I don't know what the final title is going to be, but it's going to be called something like The Complete Works of David Flynn. And for all those people out there that have been trying to get a copy of Cydonia, and you see that thing over there on eBay or whatever selling for $1,000, it's going to have that book. It's going to have Temple at the Center of Time. It's going to have articles that were published by David Flynn. Some of those articles where David Flynn was the guy, by the way, that came up with and it's still in a 2005 Raiders News Update article. He was the one who came up with the connection between Roswell, the UFO crash site, Mount Herman, and the year 2012, and how all of that aligns geographically, which has been ripped off by an awful lot of other people who have published it in their works as if they were the originator of it. But David Flynn published the original article. In fact,